An attacker could hack an airplane if they had physical access to the wiring of that airplane. So they would have to be able to touch it. The research that we produce today is concerned specifically with small aircraft. So think of like a small four-seater Cessna type plane. Older aircraft tend to use much more mechanical controls, so they wouldn't be affected. Older aircraft also use an older electronic system, which is not vulnerable to these kinds of attacks that we described.
You've got a graphical GPS system, but everything else here is running off the old style dial system. So the newer aircraft will have a digital panel, and again, they'll work off all of these instruments will be in a digital format then on two. Usually, basically, you'll have one screen, a little navigation screen there, and another screen simulating the instrumentation then in a digital format.
The CAN bus network that lives in these small aircraft are essentially the central nervous system of the aircraft. They connect, engine sensors to the avionics panel that the pilot uses. It talks to the autopilot. It talks to the flaps. Pretty much everything that has an electronic sensor or control on it is connected to CAN bus. CAN bus is it's a great vehicular network protocol, and it's used in all sorts of things, in planes, in cars, more and more these days, even in things like drones, boats, spacecraft, pretty much any kind of vehicle. These kinds of problems have surfaced before, specifically in the automotive industry, so in cars. And these were discussed around 2015, 2016, in that kind of neighborhood. And since then, automotive manufacturers have taken steps to shore up the defenses of CAN bus by implementing things like firewalls, secure gateways, things like that. Basically making sure that the CAN bus networks don't even have a touch point with something like, your Wi-Fi connection or the infotainment system that's on the dash. Department of Homeland Security issued an alert this morning about these findings, essentially reflecting what we said in our report about how owners of these aircraft and people who are responsible for the maintenance of these aircraft need to make sure that the physical security around them, like fences, locked doors, guards, things like that, are up to snuff. Like you don't want to have bad guys touching your aircraft, which is kind of a no-brainer. But in light of this, I think it's a lot more significant today because we know now that an attacker could attach a device to these aircraft and take kind of stealthy control of the aircraft.